Welcome to Planet B. If we do it right, we could establish an economic and social system in the so-called metaverse. We could establish an economic and social system that, thanks to virtual goods and values, allows almost unlimited growth without burning up the limited resources of the Earth in the process. Is this perhaps the sought-after Planet B? We know the headlines. Growing world population, emerging developing countries emulating the old world, and CO2 emissions growing every year. It's all interconnected, and it's all due to the unchecked growth of human presence on this planet. An indisputable fact. With the prospect of about 9 billion people who will all want to reach a certain standard of living in the future, experts are concerned about the limited resources of our Mother Earth. So it is no coincidence that the Earth Overshoot Day is to be found a little earlier in the calendar every year. A sad procedure that has degenerated into a habitual footnote. It is becoming challenging enough to produce enough food for such an amount of people. If physical consumer goods, which ultimately have only a decorative effect, are also produced on these scales, then the crash is inevitable. A supply of resources from outside is still impracticable, and the way into space is itself part of the problem. Yes, we are looking at you, Elon, Jeff and Richard. For some time, however, a fantastic new world has been waiting in the wings. The metaverse. The hype train has been touring all the gazettes, and most people with a mobile broadcast receiver have a vague idea of it. It varies from dystopian Matrix stereotypes to the utopian synthetic heaven we can ascend to thanks to Neuralink. Both extremes are unlikely to have a release date. The actual state of the metaverse is often described as the Internet at the beginning of the 90s. When the Internet was still called information superhighway, cyberspace, or data highway. Attention-grabbing artificial words that describe an idea whose concrete application and benefits were still in the development stage. So the analogy makes perfect sense. Just as with the Internet, however, there will probably be one or more corrections after the initial investment hype, meta-boom. So the meta-bubble will probably have to burst at first and deprive some NFT believers, DeFi evangelists and leisure geeks of their saving stockings. Smaller corrections can always be seen. But to call a $251 billion correction in the market value of Meta alone small is a major understatement. The amount of investment alone has increased by several orders of magnitude compared to the early days of the Internet. After all, we are now many more people. This brings us back to the initial question. The scenario. A predominant part of humanity experiences the professional as well as private organization of life in a computer-generated and ultra-networked world. A world full of virtual goods and services that can be created practically from nothing and exchanged and paid for among themselves with virtual money. All forms of social reality take place there. No reason to leave this reality. On the contrary, participation is virtually synonymous with occupation, which is accepted as reality by practically everyone today. Would this then be an environmentally friendly alternative to our current real-life system? All that is needed in the future is accommodation with a fast internet connection and a supply of food. Highly simplified, of course. The garden earth will be tended by autonomous robots and the fields will be cultivated according to demand. Vegan meat alternatives make morally reprehensible animal husbandry superfluous. Air travel a marginal phenomenon for the super-rich. Individual public transport replaces the car. Everything is taken care of. The ideas and innovative power for this are being developed and cultivated in the metaverse, and everyone wants to join in. The machines that cannot act autonomously are controlled by real people from the metaverse in simulation games. The term work loses its meaning. Play to earn, the next buzzword from the bubble. Of course, all this presupposes that we master the climate change and that the energy and hardware we need to build the metaverse comes from sustainable production processes. Perhaps all this will not be a problem after we reach the technological singularity and the breakthroughs in quantum computing and artificial intelligence that will follow. Maybe our intelligent machines will build this planet B for us. Maybe on this planet B the future of our economy and therefore also the future of the human culture can take place. So we live, work and play on planet B every now and then we look for vacation and relaxation on a hay-lent planet A, which is reforested by robots until we no longer need the metaverse. An absurdly beautiful idea of a tech-savvy optimist? Maybe. I at least say welcome to Planet B.